to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello, how y'all doing? Thank you for joining us. My name is Jackie Paget-Baird.
And I'm Dr. Vicky Arcady.
And we're Flush Your Fat for Good, Be Lean and Healthy for Life. We've written a book about it. We're excited to share that with you. And we also have a website called flushyourfatforgood.com. Today, we want to share some information with you, mainly about why we're excited about Flush Your Fat for Good. It's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's not like you do 30, 60, 90 days and you want to try it out. It's nothing like that.
It's not a trend. It's not a fad.
Right. And it's nothing like, oh, let me see how I like it for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, right.
If you understand, let me see if when I'm taught how to drive, if I should follow, when it's a red light, if I should stop. No, it's not.
I'll only do that for 2 weeks.
Right. Let me see. Following the rules of the road. I'll just check it
I'm
out
not going to stop at the stop sign anymore.
Because it's about life, right? And, when you understand the philosophy of it, when you understand the biochemistry and physiology of it, when it resonates with you that, this makes a lot of sense, it's common sense, right? Which isn't so common anymore, but this is total common sense. And it's not putting pressure on you to have to go step on a scale, go have meetings, go have foods being sent to your home, pre-made, packaged, which really gets pricey.
Yes, very pricey.
Yeah.
Very, very expensive. You don't have to go get weighed,
But the foods are not of top quality either.
No.
So you lose weight, but you also lose 50% of your bone and muscle. And then when you stop the foods that aren't top quality and you start going to the other normal foods that you were, that commercial just kills me. Wow, I get to lose weight like this? Are you kidding? I just had some chocolate cake.
I saw that, and we did a previous podcast actually on this calorie restriction and losing weight really fast, where you lose bone and muscle. And you put fat on. I mean, it's a known fact. It's a scientific fact. You put fat on it. More fat.
And if you put fat on fat, and now what you've done is you've lost the integrity of your bone and muscle, and you've lost your posture, you've lost your, integrity of your heart, and all kinds of things. So that's not what this is about. This is a lifestyle, okay? And just for fun, we wanted to show you some before and afters to let you know that we're just not blowing smoke. This is just a few of the things that we wanted to show of some of our buddies. We call our buddies or our members of Flush Your Fat for Good buddies. This is our FYF4Good buddies. So we just want to start off with Laura and show her before and after. And we're very proud of Laura. This is her lifestyle. She was started young, and God bless her, because we have 60 and 70-year-olds saying they wish they had known about this years ago.
She's, I think she's been, living the lifestyle now in phase 2 for years now. I think she reached her goal weight. She's down. In fact, over the holidays, she sent us some dancing. She was dancing in her little outfits. But, all this goes on in our Flush Your Fat for Good Buddies private Facebook room. So if you request to be in our room, you'll see all these good things in there.
We want you to be buddies with us. And we have phase 1, phase 2. So when we mention phase 2, that means they passed boot camp and they lost all their fat, and they've gone into a lifestyle form of eating for the rest of their life.
They liked how they looked and felt healthy, looked great. And they went into phase 2.
So we'll talk a little more about that. Our next buddy is Morgan. We like to specialize in what we call globesity because it's global now. America is the #1 nation for obesity, and it used to be Mexico. The number 1 cause of death in America now used to be heart disease and cancer. It's now type 2 diabetes. That is #1 in Mexico. But we deal with people that are over 500, 600 pounds, And many of these people have tried up to 24 different programs, and it's all the same thing. They'll lose and then they gain it all back, or they've tried such drastic things that have been more harm than good for them.
And you know, those that are 100 pounds or more overweight, we have a call every Wednesday night called the Power 100 Heroes Call. But these are people that are really hopeless. These are the ones that they're fit to be tied. They feel like there's nowhere they can go. There's nothing they can do. And, you know, when you look at these people, they're severely malnourished. Even though they're 100 pounds or more overweight, they're severely malnourished. And I feel that they're ill. They're very ill. Not, you know, not disease, not a certain disease. The disease is obesity, but they're very ill because they're so malnourished and nothing is working correctly in their bodies. So we like to help them, because on Flesh or Fat for Good, you have to eat.
Right.
I mean, that's a requirement. You have to eat.
Eating. So many people say, I can't eat all this.
And
just
Morgan was one of them. He
Right.
says, I can't eat that much.
So we're, you know, it's in our heart to want to
Yes.
help those that are obese, because we know the pain that they go through. So
And-
if any
and-
of you guys have any friends that you know, or if you're watching us right now and you are, 60, 70, 80, you know you're going to get close to 100.
Yes, that's
and
bad too.
please join us,
Yeah.
because we have a culture of caring,
Yes.
and our private Facebook page is very...
Community. It's
Yeah.
a community of servants who are, are on a mission to help everyone who comes in the room. And we call the
So-
new people newbies.
newbies.
So be a newbie. Come in.
Okay, our next gal is Katie, and
Oh, boy.
we're very proud of Katie. She
she's
had a lot of health issues,
Yes.
a lot of stomach issues,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of intestinal tract issues, and I mean, at such a young age, she thought that she felt like she was 80, and she was very upset because she thought, I'm so young and I'm never going to feel good, and I feel so old.
Yeah.
And this was her last chance to try this. And she looks amazing. Her before picture is, for her age, she was very heavy. And then she not only looks amazing on her after picture, but then she had a baby.
She got married. She was our first bride.
She had a beautiful, beautiful dress. They had to take in her wedding dress several times.
Yep.
Because she kept losing. Even on phase 2, you will tighten up and lose.
Yes.
And then she had a baby, and she lost all her baby fat immediately.
She was on phase 2, which we recommend.
And she still is. She's a beautiful singer,
Yep.
and she's teaches piano, I think. I'm not sure, but
Teaches all
she's
music,
one
I
of
think,
one of our favorite buddies, and she's a coach as well.
yes.
Yeah. Then the next one is me, Jackie.
Da-da-da-da.
I should have brought the other before and after, but the before here is when I was in Hawaii and the white shirt, and oh boy, I'll tell you, because I had gone through a lot of tragedy in my family at the time, and stress will put a lot of weight on you.
Yes.
And then and you all know the story, some of you don't, it is in our book, talked about how this whole lifestyle came to me. And when it did, it was after the tragedy was over, and took one look at myself and I went, oh, hell no, what happened to you? You know, it was like time to look at myself. And that's what we want you guys to understand, that, life is to be valued. Your health, you cannot take all your riches with you.
No.
All that you have is your health. And healthy body, healthy mind. And when you're stressed to the max and there's a horrible thing going on in your life, even if it's not as bad as what I went through, everything is relative. One man's junk is another man's treasure, I guess that's what they say, or whatever. But the bottom line is, it could just be the bills. It could be the fact that your marriage isn't going well. It could be the fact that you're breaking up with a girlfriend or a boyfriend.
Or your dog died.
Yeah, it could be anything like that, and you can't get over it.
No.
But in the long run, if you're unhappy, if you are in a state of sadness all the time, because it's like that song, is that all there is? Is that all there is? Well, no, there's a lot more to the world than what you think it is.
Yes.
But if you're not healthy, if you're not happy, then it's very, very difficult for you to pay attention to yourself because you're looking at everything else. When you finally get the solution is when you should really turn around and say, you know what, it's my turn. It's my turn to take care of myself and be totally committed to living the life the way I want to live my life, healthy and lean. And that was when this whole lifestyle came to me through divine intervention. So my before and after, I mean, I've lost since then, but I've tightened up, and I just don't even think about my weight anymore. It used to be an on and off situation. It's nothing of interest to me. And then last but not least, we have so many more. You can go to
so many. And on our website we have
FlushYourFatForGood.com. We have, go to before and afters. It's the first on the taskbar. But the next is Patty Jensen.
Oh, man.
And
another one with lots of health problems.
Yeah,
cardiac
heart,
disease.
Right?
Yes, cardiovascular disease.
What else? She had
a
bowel
cardiologist.
problems.
She had a lot of problems. She had skeletal problems that weren't going away. She had, musculoskeletal, like shoulder and all that stuff. And she had, reflux. She had a number of different things besides the very serious,
and tons
required
of
a cardiologist.
Medication. Eventually, her cardiologist just said, "You don't need me anymore." She lost her weight. She looks amazing. She's happy as can be. This is her physical religion, which is what we call it. We have spiritual religion, as far as I'm concerned, to feed your body the way God made it, and to honor it, and to respect the way the body has been made through the way you chew your food and swallow and digest, absorb, and eliminate. Then that's honoring the body that God gave you, and that's basically what this whole lifestyle is about. So that's, every once in a while we'll show some
befores and
before
afters.
and after, just to let you know, these people are enjoying their life. We have the ability to have you guys call in and ask questions. We're going to be talking about foods that make you happy and certain reasons why when you're overweight you can have a depression. You don't know why. But the phone number is 818-570-5085. So I'm going to say that again. 818-570-5085. And if you just want to call in, make a comment, chat, ask a question, see if you want to join us, or if you're already a member, we'd love to hear from you.
And there's no queue on there, so if we can't get to you in time, just call back.
Right.
Because there's no call waiting queue. Okay. As they call it. As we do on our conference calls. We have a queue where you can wait.
So on this next little section is, did you know that? Dr. Vicky's going to share with you some things that it's really important to understand, because when you are overweight, or if you have a friend that's overweight, you're going to be able to understand their moods a little bit better.
Can you keep an eye on this?
What am I doing? Oh, when somebody comes up?
Someone
yes,
will.
yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and then you
we're
can
taking over. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
All right. So, with Flush Your Fat for Good, what we do is we teach you a habitual ritual. And like I said a minute ago, we want you to eat. You eat yourself lean. And really, that's the way to do it. You can't starve yourself lean, because you're not going to be lean. You're going to lose your muscle. You're going to lose your bone. Right. You're going to gain fat, because as soon as you start eating anything, you're going to gain fat. Okay? So you want to eat yourself lean, and you have to have the proper foods. That's the whole ball of wax. You have to know exactly what you're doing. You have to know the rules, which Flush Your Fat for Good gives you the information that you need. It's all in this book, and we've had so many people call us and tell us, hey, you explained it so well, and now I get it. You understand why, I understand why that's happening. You described it so well in there. And it's like a novel. I can keep reading it. So it's really
to know why is to know how.
Yeah, and we did do a fantastic job.
We did.
Okay, so one of the things that happens when you're about 20 pounds or more overweight, and even less, 15 pounds overweight or more, is that I read about and I learned about through endocrinologists who were studying this phenomenon in the 80s and early 80s and mid 80s. They realized from their patients, seeing their overweight patients, that their patients their moods were horrible and they were depressed. Well, what happened was when you are overweight like that and you're eating the wrong foods, just because you don't know what you're supposed to be eating, okay? There's commercials on TV. Oh, that looks great, this burger with fries, and you just eat whatever because you don't know. You're not educated. You just don't know. You don't know what's good for you or what's bad for you. And
it's been given to you also. The parents don't know.
Yeah, nobody really. That's the honest to God truth. Mm-hmm. You don't know the rules. So when you get to be overweight like that, your hormones start to go crazy, and you're eating more starches than you should. You're eating more sugars than you should, because sugar is, let's face it, is in everything. You get a drink anywhere in a fast food place, there's going to be sugar in it, unless you get black coffee, right, or black tea. There's going to be sugar in it. So what happens is, we had a podcast on this, but your insulin goes up and falls. You're having this hyperinsulinemia, that phenomenon that goes on, and then it leads to insulin resistance. And when you reach insulin resistance, you're overweight. There's no stopping it. You will continue to gain the pounds no matter what you do, unless you change what you're doing and your foods. You're going to gain weight. There's no doubt about it. Well, what happens with that? Insulin is a hormone. A hormone out of balance, we're like a big water balloon. One hormone out of balance is going to push on the rest of them. It's like if I pushed on Jackie, she's a big water balloon, that side's going to bulge. So something has to give, something has to take when the hormone is out of balance. So what happens is, they've found, these endocrinologists, this group, they found that people become depressed because of the hormones. There's a hormonal imbalance. All the hormones in the body, the thyroid, the estrogen, you name it, I can't tell you, because everyone is individual with the hormones, and that's why it's so hard to treat, is, with drugs, is because you cannot figure out how to balance it, because it's all
And it's
convoluted.
Not just that you're depressed because you don't like the way you look.
No, it's not about that.
It's a chemical.
It's a deep depression, and the
Right.
only way you can survive is to sleep all the time, because that gets you back into alignment, and you're not having to deal with it, and feeling it. So what Flush Your Fat for Good does is, we have the blueprint. We have 8 pillars, which include everything you need to know. It's just outlined beautifully and easily, and we teach you what you're supposed to be eating, how you're supposed to be eating, when you're supposed to be eating. But one of the things we wanted to talk about is foods that help your mood, that help you feel better, that not only help your body in a healthy way, but help your moods. And some of these foods I made a little list, but if you just look at our cover, most of the foods are on this.
I was going to say, just eat the cover.
Okay, so dark chocolate, they're talking about, we recommend cacao, not cocoa, that's a starch. Cacao, which is the seed, okay? And that's chocolate.
Yeah,
it's basically chocolate.
It's like it, but it's the protein of
yes,
it.
It's the seed. Salmon, or fatty fish like salmon, help your mood. Why? Because you know why. There's omega-3s in there. We hear it all the time. And we don't get our omega-3s in our body. We have to get them from our foods. And that helps our brain, it helps our hearts, it helps our nerves, it helps everything. Berries. So we have lots of berries on our book. Black blueberries, strawberries.
Raspberries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Grapes is another one. I think there's grapes over here. Coffee. We're one of the few.
Yeah, baby.
We're one of the few programs out there that make coffee mandatory. We don't care if you don't like it. We don't care.
No.
We will teach you how to care
No,
for it.
And you'll look, it takes 10 days to reprogram a taste
That's
bud.
right.
So coffee can become delicious to you.
One of our buddies, somebody in the room, a newbie, she says, I hate coffee. What else can we drink? And we're like, you can't.
No, she says, one of the buddies said, and she was a newbie, and she said, "What do all you buddies do that don't like coffee?" And all the comments came in, "We drink it."
We drink it. And one woman was so proud of herself because she was on one of our calls, and she just did not ever like coffee, ever. And she says, "I started with 2 tablespoons and I worked my way up." And she goes, "Now I really enjoy it. My husband and I enjoy it so much. It's a special time of the day."
Right.
Okay. Coffee, as we know, is a mood elevator. There's so many good things about coffee, and it has to be organic. It must be organic, period. If you don't do organic, you're going to have repercussions. You're not going to feel good, okay?
And the dark roast is less caffeine.
Correct. Raw nuts, they talk about the walnuts, which we recommend.
Well, that's a habitual ritual for us,
We
raw
recommend
nuts.
the walnuts especially.
But they have to be soaked properly.
Yeah, so we teach you how to soak them so that
Right.
they're live. And we went into that in a few podcasts too. Kale is one of the greatest mood elevators you can eat. And I just posted an article in the room about how you must have organic kale, because if you don't, it's very highly sprayed. If you've ever grown it,
Right.
it's very highly sprayed because there's so many critters that want it. It's so beneficial.
And that's another thing that's mandatory with our staples is kale in Jackie's chicken salad.
That's right. And you're supposed to eat that every day.
And if you have a blood clotting issue, and if you're on certain things about your blood,
Blood
you don't.
thinners.
Yeah, blood thinners.
It's not an issue because you get checked every 2 weeks, every month, whatever it is. They check your blood.
And not only that, we're not asking you to eat a truckload
No,
of it.
just
it's
a little-
a little bit
Yeah.
every single day in your salad.
Yeah. Eggs. Eggs are so good for you. In fact, what was that woman's name in Sardinia? She was a
Oh, yeah.
Sardinian woman. She was
The older woman.
She just died. I think she died at 119. I put the
Yeah.
article in the room.
Yeah.
She ate 3 eggs a day.
God bless her.
Every day she ate
But
3
you know
eggs.
what you notice when you don't have eggs for a
What?
long time,
What?
and then you eat eggs?
What?
You feel better.
Oh, you do feel better.
Yeah.
They make you feel good.
Well, you don't get albumin. So, I mean, your body doesn't make
No.
albumin. So,
And
eggs, eggs are loaded
egg
with it.
whites
Yeah.
are albumin. So we
But eat the yolk with the egg whites.
Yes.
This separation is
and forget about that cholesterol garbage. That's old news. It's not true. I still see it in recent articles. Some people are talking about
I
how
know.
eggs. It's ridiculous. You know, it's a perfect balance. It's a perfect protein food, and the yolk is so full of good stuff, like lecithin for your brain, your heart, your nerves, your lungs.
yeah, and it establishes how it's going to break down the
And
protein.
It's easily
in-
to
yeah.
break down. You
Mhm.
break it down so easily. Broccoli. We got lots
Broccoli.
of broccoli. in our book.
Broccoli is the bomb.
Beef is very good too, and that should be grass fed or pasture raised. You want pasture raised or free range or grass fed. You know, some of the grass fed foods are partially grain, so you got to read the fine print.
Yeah.
We have yogurt is one, which we do goat yogurt. We don't do dairy in our program. In Flesh
Cow.
and Fat for
We
Good.
don't do cow.
No cow dairy. Mushrooms, I saw mushrooms on here. Oh yeah, there's a
right there.
mushroom.
Mhm.
So you have some more? Anyway,
Yeah.
these are all part of our daily diet. Let me see. What did I have today? I didn't have salmon. I did have cacao. I had yogurt, coffee. I didn't have nuts yet. I had kale, eggs, broccoli. Okay, so I'm up to speed.
Just the co-developer is eating.
So,
but the thing is,
let your food be your medicine be your food.
who said that?
Hippocrates.
Who said that?
Hippocrates.
That's right, Hippocrates. The fact is that with Flesh or Fat for Good, we have staples. And we're encouraging you to eat those staples on a regular routine. That's why we call it habitual ritual. But we also have a pattern throughout the day that you follow. So after a while, it's like you automatically know what you're going to do.
Right, and we make sure that you don't wait too long in between your food, your meals, because we want that insulin to stay level. We want your brain to know, hey, there's food here. I don't have to worry. I've got blood sugar that's level. I can burn the fat for fuel. I can go to that stored fat and burn for fuel. So let me just say that phone number again if anybody wants to call in with a question, and I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay.
And I'll sock you.
What else?
Okay,
is new?
it's 818-570-5085. 818-570-5085.
Yeah, so if you guys want to just chit-chat, let us know. One thing you didn't expand on was broccoli, and broccoli is one of the most balanced vegetables on the planet, but the commercial broccoli has the 7 markers down. So you don't want that. You've got to have organic broccoli. And, you know, when phytochemicals came out in the 90s, right? 1994, 1996, something like that. They were talking about phytochemicals.
That's when we learned about it. Mm-hmm.
That is, they were saying maybe better than antioxidants. Well, phytochemicals, phyto is the Greek word for plant, and chemicals, it's the naturally occurring chemicals in a plant that is cancer fighting, cancer preventing, and also supporting many functions in the body to protect you. So with broccoli, there's a phytochemical in the broccoli called sulforaphane. Many people are learning about this right now, but within a couple of hours of hitting your stomach, a phase 2 enzyme is released, and it surrounds cancer and totes it out.
Powerful. Very powerful.
And that's why we have broccoli in our staples every day.
Every day.
So we're not asking you to eat the stems of the broccoli. You have to cut off the tops, and you put it in Jackie's chicken salad. It's in your egg muffins. It's in your 3-egg omelet. You can steam it. You can grill it. But keeping that in your life all the time is like a seatbelt of nutrition, you know?
It's like an IV drip.
Right.
You're getting all these different vegetables and fruits all day long.
Well, you have insurance, most of you, and you got to have car insurance, and we have health insurance, most of you. But to eat right and to understand what the right foods do for you is like a seatbelt of nutrition. It's your insurance policy. I just found a couple of things that I thought was cool. I'll just share with you guys. If you guys want to call in, you know, again, 818, I feel like it's a
570-5085.
I feel like the, what is it? With Jerry, what's his name? I can't remember. Anyway.
Springer?
No. Pick up that chair. Okay, can you boost your moods naturally? And yes, that's what it's about. See, we've also worked with a lot of family birth and women's centers. We've been on staff with the Family Birth and Women's Center, Gentle Birth Center. Tanya Brooks is a midwife that Dr. Vicky's worked with for over 30 years.
More than 30 years.
Oh my God.
34, 35 years. 35 years.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Lord Mary.
Half my life. Way more than half my life.
But, I mean, she's a Harvard grad. She's a college grad, UCLA and Cleveland. And the thing is, when you work with young girls or people that want to conceive and have babies and they want a natural birth, many times we found out because they were on antidepressants. This is the way if people are depressed, they give antidepressants. And for an acute situation to save somebody, we understand. But to keep them from the age of 12 on up into their 25, 30, and then now they want to have a child.
Well, now they put babies on Prozac now.
It's
I mean, don't get us started.
No, don't get us started.
But you're
but
upsetting.
My point is, what I'm saying is, the antidepressants, many times that is their answer because that's all they know. And
yeah, it's their approach. It's a medical approach.
But it affects you, that we find, with even instigating labor. You know, it'll interfere with your pregnancy. It'll interfere with your labor, even if you were off them several years ago, because it'll affect the pituitary. So when you know certain things like this, you want to be able to understand the importance of eating healthy body, healthy mind. You want the body to function appropriately. And if you can do without psychotropic drugs by doing your best to have a good diet and to digest, absorb, and eliminate properly, then what we hear from many people is that they weren't on the antidepressants. They were years ago. They got themselves off, but they were battling their depression and their sadness. And eating Flush Your Fat for Good, the lifestyle, they find themselves happy. Their moods are better.
Yeah.
They're thinking sharper. They're sleeping deeper. It's safe, rapid fat loss, and that's what they want. But with the fact that the body is functioning better across the board and going into wanting to conceive and have a baby, it's going to function even better. So eventually we're going to do, I got the okay in several months to be able to do some of the girls that have had babies on phase 2, and that'll be fun. We'll bring in some old pregos. They're not old, but they're pregos that gave birth. So, can you boost your mood naturally? Yes, you can. And that's what you want to do.
You know, if you, we're supposed to feel good.
Yeah.
You know,
You're supposed to be happy with life.
You're supposed to get up in the morning and be able to get out of bed and do the things you need to do. Our bodies were created, I mean, if you've ever been in an autopsy or a dissection lab, you know that some higher entity had to make these bodies, because whoever came up with the organs, it's like, you know, they're so fragile, but they do so much. I mean, we don't have to think about anything. We eat, our bodies does the rest. Our heart keeps pumping. Our digestive tract keeps digesting and extracting nutrients, sends it into the bloodstream. I mean, when you think about all the things that our bodies do, you know that something had to create these bodies. And we hear comments from our people that started, you know, right from the very beginning, who reached their goals and were just going gangbusters on this. And most people do, because it takes about 2 weeks to get the habitual ritual down. But they said, you know, I took supplements for decades, and I've never enjoyed health.
Right.
I know now that I never knew how bad I felt until I felt good. Even though they religiously took supplements.
You know what I love is the autonomic nervous system. That's your involuntary body parts. You know, you don't tell your heart to beat.
Digestive tract.
Yeah, you don't tell your gut to digest. You don't
No.
tell your heart to pump. You don't tell your lungs to breathe, pump. You know, the body is a miracle. The body
Yes.
is not to be thrown garbage down and expect.
It's to be respected.
Right, but
Yes.
I mean, now I know you say you are what you eat, but it's really you are what she ate. So if any of you are thinking of conceiving and having a child, and you're pregnant or you're nursing, you are what she ate. So
Yep.
make sure everything transmits to the baby. So that assures the longevity of the tribe. That's why in tribes all over the world, the chief of the tribe will make the couples undergo a whole year of health care before they get married.
Yep.
And then when they get married, they have to go through a whole nother health care program for a year before the chief of the tribe will let them have a child, because they want to assure the longevity of the tribe. You know, in the city, and mostly in, I don't know, I guess all over the country now, they just think it's okay to have waffle fries with your cheeseburger, and make sure you get that.
Well, that's the American diet.
Right. And just the
Western
thought
diet.
of watching a kid eat that is bad enough to know that whatever goes into your mouth should build, repair, and maintain the integrity of your bone, blood, tissue, organs, hormone balance.
Right.
And all of that is going to assure you to feel better, happier, sleep better, think sharper. So just what I thought was cool, because I found some things that I thought was really, a lot of you guys know, but some of you don't, is vitamin C. We all talk about vitamin C. Vitamin
important.
C. And y'all know about, well, maybe you don't, but scurvy. Scurvy was a disease that was, they didn't know how to cure that, and they were losing tons of sailors. And somebody put some limes and lemons on a ship with sailors, and they were the only ones that didn't get scurvy. And I think that's what they wound up calling them limeys, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, vitamin C is interesting. Now, ascorbic acid and vitamin C are two different things. And to get whole vitamin C right out of a plant is best, because there's a matrix of all these vitamins and minerals, and you want all the pieces of the puzzle to be in contact the way God put it into the fruit and vegetable. If you're only getting one portion of the puzzle, then you're lacking all the other parts to make it work. Mm-hmm. And the body is not going to recognize it and be able to utilize it until it has all the other parts of the puzzle together to be able to say, oh, I recognize that now. This is vitamin C from an orange or a apple or kiwi, cucumbers, whatever.
Yeah. Cranberry.
So it's best to do fruits and vegetables, and they're organic and vine ripened, because your phytochemicals come at the point of vine ripening.
Tomatoes.
Bell
peppers.
If tomatoes are picked green, you don't get the 350 phytochemicals that are supposed to be in there to protect you. One of them against prostate cancer. So, but vitamin C is essential for the body's ability to make neurotransmitters. We're talking about moods, including dopamine, noradrenaline, and serotonin. Now, who knew? Because I ask a few of the kids that come into the house, you guys eating your fruit? And, oh yeah, last week I had an orange. I'm like, last week?
Yeah.
Try eating that every day.
Well, they don't, the kids, we say kids, but they're the young people. They don't
20s, 30s.
Yeah, they don't like it because it's picked green and it tastes horrible. So they don't like the taste of it. I find that the organics, fruits and vegetables, seem to taste a little better, although I've had some that don't taste well.
No,
either.
I know. And if you go to a farmer's market,
yes,
that's where it's the bomb.
That's where it's the bomb.
But these neurotransmitters provide mood stability and the prevention of depression. So just think about it. If you're not happy, or you're battling depression, or you're going up and down with your moods, have foods that have vitamin C in it, such as cucumbers, such as kiwis, such as oranges.
Bell peppers.
Bell peppers, yeah.
Huge vitamin C.
Okay, let me give you another
Mango.
one here. In 2013, a trial was published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, replenished blood levels of vitamin C to normal among acutely hospitalized patients. So they saw a 71% reduction in mood disturbance and a 51% reduction in psychological distress. Eat foods with vitamin C in it, and that means that's not like just a little orange wedge.
Yeah.
Enjoy your fruits.
And summer's coming, or when summer's here, you have an abundance of vitamin C fruits, so take advantage. That, there's a reason for that.
Go down the street and find a neighbor that has an orange tree. In 2018 study on 139 young adult males found that those who consumed the most vitamin C had the lowest reported feelings of depression, confusion, and anger. Well, that would come in handy in today's climate.
That's So but you still have to eat right. I mean, if you eat right, you're going to get your vitamin C. You should not be.
If you eat right,
you should not be to that point.
No, of course.
If you eat correctly, you don't need to take all these individual supplements. But
so what are we looking at? Oranges, lemons, strawberries, bell peppers, and my favorite, broccoli.
Broccoli has everything, man.
Look, it's not that I like the taste of broccoli.
I love it.
I mean, I can like it when I steam it, if I grill it, and when I put it into the Jackie's chicken salad. Mm-hmm. What I do love is the effects. Now, people say, well, I don't know about taking certain supplements. I just don't know if they're doing any good for me. And I said, well, it's really important to supplement, because our foods are so lacking that you have to supplement. And I said, let me ask you something. How do you feel after you eat a pizza? Do you feel, well, I liked it and everything. I said, but do you feel energetic? Do you feel happy? Is your mood better?
Maybe for a minute. Maybe for 5 minutes.
But it's the same thing. You don't know, how do you feel after a bowl of broccoli? The only thing that's different is that if you're any form of intelligence, or you have 2 neurons firing at the same time, you're going to figure out that pizza's not good for you and broccoli is. So the real good feeling is that you're doing good to yourself. You're feeding yourself something that's going to help your body, because the goal is to live long and prosper. You do not want to live long and suffer. Trust me, we've seen a lot of that. All right, if anybody still wants to call in, we're begging you. No, we're not.
No,
it's fine. We're fine with this, because I have so much more to say.
We have about 10 minutes.
Okay. Next thing, just a few other things. Vitamin B6. The goal of many antidepressants is to increase serotonin uptake. As it turns out, B vitamins can have a similar effect. So, for example, B6 is effective in treating premenstrual depression. So, if you're looking at mood-boosting neurotransmitters, and B6 is
what foods is that in for them? Cut to the chase.
You got carrots, spinach.
Oh, I love carrots. Spinach.
This is all part of phase 1, and phase 2 is sweet potatoes.
I eat carrots and spinach every day.
Every day, I know you do. Green peas.
I don't eat those.
Okay, in phase 2, lentils and legumes and bananas.
I eat bananas.
Okay, so you already talked about the omega-3s, and people with plenty of EPA and DHA especially have been found to experience less depression. Okay,
and you know that directly supports your brain, the white matter of your brain, the DHA.
Yeah,
very important. Did you know? Did you know that babies? Let me see. When in the 80s, late 80s, they had baby formula, but they didn't put DHA in it.
Yeah,
and it was because of one of my colleagues, chiropractor, who did, he did lobbying, and he did a lot of study, and he wrote a book about it, that they eventually put it into the formula because it builds your white matter of your brain. It's very important.
So I'll just quickly go through this because I want to tell you something else. But the walnuts have omega-3s in it, and that's what we put in our goat yogurt. Zinc is another one. Zinc is especially high in legumes, but also seeds, nuts, and whole grains. But seeds and nuts is what we use every day.
Zinc is very important for the men. If you're having prostate issues, zinc. So eat more of those foods.
And the lowest levels in zinc lead to symptoms of depression, ADHD, difficulty with learning and memory, seizures, aggression, and violence. So you can see, let your food be your medicine be your food. Magnesium.
Grand Plush has a ton of it.
Ton of it.
And your vegetables. And
most people are not, west of the Mississippi, are not low in calcium. They're low in magnesium. And magnesium, again, is from leafy greens, which we eat every day. There's just so much to learn about that. This is so important.
We don't want you guys to run out and get all these individual vitamins.
No. This is about you can get it from your foods. Look at this. When you do folic acid, when you're pregnant, you have to take folic acid because they're afraid of cleft palate. But it comes from avocados, spina bifida, oranges, spinach, and asparagus. I mean, these are foods that are essential. Selenium's really important. And what?
Selenium is in sardines and Brazil nuts. Big league.
I love those. Brazil nuts, wild yellowfin, tuna, mushrooms, and lentils. But really, people who received selenium reported a general elevation of mood. They also reported a decrease in anxiety, depression, and tiredness.
I had pregnant women craving sardines when they needed zinc, calcium, and selenium.
Yeah.
Zinc, calcium, and
selenium.
So
when you go to fleshyourfatforgood.com, we have a website completely set up with 23 videos. We're in the kitchen making our staples.
They're really funny. I mean, they're very well done, too.
Well, we had fun doing it, but it explains how to make it, and once you see it, it's bada bing, bada bang. We have, in the storefront, we have our Starter Kit 1 and Starter Kit 2 if you really want to get going on it. Starter Kit 1 has our workbook, and it has charts with it, along with GLA and CLA. These are essential fatty acids for quick fat loss, and really amazing. Your skin starts to glow, and
it breaks up the fat.
Yeah, your belly fat starts to go down.
Yeah.
We have
Really
a
good.
coaching course. If you don't have to be a coach, but it is enough to educate you into wanting to coach. But it's also if you want to take care of a loved one, your family, your friends, your neighbor, and if you just want to be educated on how to survive on this alien planet, then this is the course for you, because it's 60 combined years of our knowledge.
Yeah, and if you just want to know more, some people will just say, just let me do it right now. Like Kathleen, our co-author, I just want to do it. I don't want to hear about anything. But as soon as she lost the 100 pounds, she's like, okay, now why is this working?
Right.
So you want to take the coaching course, because it ensures that you will follow the lifestyle and be successful.
The very cool thing is, first of all, you'll be able to see our book there for sale. It's also on Amazon, by the way.
Amazon, please.
Yeah, and if you guys do buy the book on Amazon, give us a good review after you've read it, if you like, because we go there and we go, oh my God, look at what they said. So the one thing I like is when you get the starter kit 1 or 2, or you can buy these individual as well, the workbook, the products, the charts. But I love this little shopping list.
She loves that shopping.
This is,
I hear it all the time.
I just love this. Because
it's very handy.
Look, you put this on your refrigerator before you go shopping, and you have everything listed that is required to do Flush Your Fat for Good. I mean,
and then you just check it off and go to the store.
it's called efficiency, okay?
It's called, you don't have to think. This one here, she doesn't like to think too much.
No, I just like to do.
She just likes to do.
Well, it's habitual ritual.
That's
Once
right.
you know it's right, then you do it.
Yep.
Do you brush your teeth twice a day? Yeah. Do I have to think about doing it? I just do it. Do I have to think why I should do it? No. That part of the
You
education.
don't think about why.
That's over, dude.
You may not
I
want
already
to,
know.
but you still do it.
Yeah, but I already know why I have to.
Yes, 'cause you
So
wanna
what are you
keep
going to
them.
argue with that? When
No, you want to keep
I
your
didn't
teeth.
want to brush my teeth, so now I lost 10. No, it's just stupid.
I'm only going to brush them for 2 weeks, and then
Right.
I'm not going
And
to brush
floss the ones you want to keep.
them. Right.
So, but this is cool because everything, there's some of the foods are written down in blue to show you what's in the chicken salad, and you just check it off, and all the things that you need you take to the store with you, and then you're in and out. I just love it. So that's about it. You
Yeah.
have anything else to say here?
Well, we just urge you to
Last thing you can, I said that, Amazon, but also on the website.
This is you're not going to read a book like this. It's fantastic. I mean, we put our heart and soul in this. It took us a whole year to write it. Just try it. Go buy the book. Just read it and see what you think, and try it. And request to be in our Flush Your Fat for Good buddies Facebook room. We'll let you in there and enjoy, and we'll help you through this. Just try it, please. We just ask you to try it. You won't be sorry.
Okay. Till next week, God bless, and thanks for
Okay.
joining us. I'll do it.
Okay. Anyway, okay, go ahead. Bye-bye.
Our engineer needs more vegetables.
You're listening to Flush Your Fat for Good with Jackie and Dr. Vicky, only on LA Talk Radio.